Well, all right, here's this King guitar. I paid like $135 for. When I got this guitar, I was looking for a kit guitar. But when I came across this one, I couldn't resist it. It's a light, I thought it was white, but when I got it, it's this light powder blue. And the body has double maple wooden bindings on it. This is painted with lacquer paint. It's not epoxy like some people think it might be, but this is real lacquer. I've tested it. And so anyway, I liked it for 135 bucks. I thought, well, shoot, if I had to, I could always make a new neck for it. I know how to make necks, so I thought I could always just make a new neck for it if I didn't like the neck. But once I got it, heck, it's got a 12-inch radius on here, not your typical Fender radius. It's maple on maple. It does have a skunk stripe on the back, but it's made of maple. It's a flame maple skunk stripe on the back, which I kind of like. I kind of dug that. Something different. And so I thought, shoot, this would be a good bones guitar to start with. The neck is nice. I didn't have to file the fret ends. They're nice and smooth. I mean, these are silky smooth on the ends. For $135. And the only thing I didn't like about it when I got it was the pickups that were in it sounded real thin. And I lost my earlier videos I had of this guitar where I demoed it before I took it apart. And I had a major computer setback thanks to Microsoft, and so I had to I lost a lot of footage on a lot of different things. So anyway, alder body, double maple wood bindings on it, maple on maple neck. It now has locking tuners from all parts on here. The pots I used are 250K from Fender with the solid shaft just like a real Tele has. And then a Fender 3-way switch here. And I can't remember the tone cap I put in. I think I put an old 33 in tone cap in it, orange drop. The ashtray here came off my USA Fender that I once had. When I sold the guitar, I forgot to put it back on the guitar. And so I ended up with it. And it fits this Wilkerson bridge, which has the compensating brass saddles in it. The pickups are Fender Custom Shop Twisted Tele pickups. The input-output jack is Switchcraft. And oops. So it's a really nice guitar. Here's what it sounds like. I'm going to put it in the middle here with the ashtray on it. Let's turn it up a little bit. Here's what it sounds like without the ashtray on it. Now remember, I get to mute it now with my hand. And that was in the middle. That's both pickups on. The term ashtray came from guys getting Teles. They pop them off of there and use them for ashtrays. That's how they got that name. That's for those out there that didn't know. We're going to set that aside for now. But I like when I have it sitting out. I like having it on there just because it gives it a different look from all the other guitars. I love my Teles, and I love my Les Pauls, and I love my Strats. You know, so I'm the kind of guy that likes them all. I don't have a well, I guess I do. I love my Les Pauls probably up and over all of them, but I sure the Teles come in a really close second to it. I wound up selling off all my USA Teles and my USA Strats because this plays just as well, if not better, and I like it a lot. I got 11s on this one, I think. Feels like 11s. And so anyway, without further ado, I'll give you some. I'm going to go ahead and start off in the middle here. But what I've done was I was always going to go back and correct it, but I wired my switch up backwards. So when it's all the way in this position, that is the neck, and this position is the bridge. And these Twisted Tele pickups are a little on the hot side, and but they really enhance that Tele sound. Would I buy them again if I had the money? These cost around $200 for the set these days. Probably a little bit more now if I remember looking at it. I looked at them just the other day, but I don't remember. It was like $200 and something for a set of these Fender Custom Shop Twisted Tele pickups. Would I buy them again? I don't know. Because Wilkerson makes some great pickups, man. If you want to buy an inexpensive pickup that gives you that high-end quality, I think Wilkerson's got it nailed. And I like their M series. In fact, in the jazz guitar, that's what's going in there. Is Humbucker M series from Wilkerson are going in that. I just think they make good stuff, and so that's why I use them. But anyway, here we go. here's the bridge. Neck pickup. This is so fun to play. I like me a Tele sound. I just love that sound that Tele has. Strats, I like Strats because they have that Strat sound, and the Strat quack you just can't beat. And I love that Les Paul throaty sound you can get out of a Les Paul. I just love it. And so it just depends on the type of music you're playing, what you like to hear and stuff. But I'm trying to figure out something else I could do for you real quick. I'm not going to do the backing track thing today. I think I've killed that to death. So. I'm in the center. Well, should I try it with some distortion? Here it is, the bridge on distortion. That neck, it's the neck. It's too much fun. Back in the middle here. But anyway, it's a nice little guitar. Here we go. One last little ditty and I'm done. All right. Well, anyway, I hope that shows you what you can do. If it wasn't for the Twisted Tele pickups, I probably wouldn't have that much in this. But the Twisted Tele pickups, I said around $200. So, what I say it was $135, something like that. So I got $335 in the body, neck, and pickups. And I forget what I gave for these, but the tuners were like another $50, let's say. So you're still looking about $400, give or take. And I mentioned in one of my comments on the other guitar was that that's where the money's at on these builds. I don't care if it's a kit guitar. Kit guitar, don't forget now, you gotta paint them. You gotta put up with all that stuff. I'll be doing that with that jazz guitar. Painting it, gotta let it rest, let it cure out, and all that stuff. This was a nice way to go if you don't have a place to paint a guitar. Just start tearing up the internet and looking for something that you can buy that you can rebuild. And in most kit guitars, I can't think of one kit guitar where I used any of the hardware and electronics that came with them. I usually save them for my cigar. Well, I do. I use them for my cigar box guitars, and they end up sounding pretty doggone good. But anyway, so it might be something if you want to get into making a guitar for yourself. If you, like I say, if you don't have a place to paint them and stuff, this is a good alternative. Look for something that's inexpensive, that has good bones. You know, I'd stay away from guitars that are made of plywood and all that stuff. Now, plywood guitars do sound good, but they don't last very long. What happens with a plywood guitar, if you leave it get a little bit warm out, like sitting out in the car or whatever, that it will start to do one of them things where the neck will rise up on you and your action will get really high. But and I just speak that from experience. But anyway, if you noted, I do turn my Tele knobs this way because I like being able to do one of these things when I'm doing it, and that's where you make your swells. I don't have pedals anymore. I got rid of my pedals years ago. The only thing I have left is that Ditto. I'm probably going to hang on to that. But anyway, the thing with guitars is it's a fun adventure. And if you like music and you like guitars, this is a good way to get introduced in how they're made. Just buy something, take it apart, rebuild it, and learn how to do things. Another good learning tool is get a nice soldering iron. My soldering iron is adjustable. I can adjust the heat on it. So you want to get a nice soldering iron and practice on some crap stuff and learn how to solder. It's not that hard to do. And I use nothing but good quality wires. I use pushback wiring. This guitar is not shielded, and as you can hear, it has no noise in it, even when I turn it towards the amp. So there's no shielding in this at all. The yellow Strat that I did, there's no shielding in it. And I find if you do a really good soldering job, use good quality wire, good quality electronics, usually don't have to shield them. Even like I said, my single coil guitars, I don't shield them. But I used to in my early days just because that's what everybody was doing, was shielding everything. I thought, oh, okay, I'll do that. Thing about people don't realize too is to make sure your shielding is working properly is you have to ground it. A lot of people don't. They just put it in there. Basically all you're doing is you just got a pretty copper looking control cavity, or if you use copper. If you use aluminum, you got a pretty aluminum control cavity. And until you ground it, it doesn't really work properly. And yes, I know you screw your controls onto it or whatever, but like on a Les Paul you will. But I wouldn't depend on that. And you always need to run an extra ground wire to it. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. But the idea of guitar building is to have fun. I don't care if you build a kit guitar, buy an inexpensive guitar and build it up for you. And just realize that a kit guitar and these kind of guitars, where you buy them inexpensively, and even though you put a ton of money into them, you probably ain't going to get your money out of it if you go to resell it. You have to go into custom guitars as something that you want, as personalized just for you. There won't be another guitar out there like it, just like this one. There's not another one out there like this. And although it's got all USA parts in it, there's even if you buy a Fender Tele like this, it won't be this one. And I really like this guitar. It's got a good medium weight to it. It's not overly heavy, and I love the maple bindings on it. It's curly maple binding that's on this. And I thought the body alone was worth the $135 to me. The only bad thing was the pick guard. I've grown to like the pick guard. I'll leave it up to you guys. You can tell me in the comments if you want to. I'm thinking about making a copper pick guard for this. I like copper. I've put copper pick guards on Teles before. But the problem with this is not a standard size Tele pick guard. It's big. This pick guard is bigger. I had bought a nice pick guard for this, and it's about 1/4 inch too short all the way around. And it actually shows the screw holes where this one's screwed to. So I like to just leave this on there. But it's been on there for so long, I've grown to like it. But And it too is curly maple wood, curly maple. And but again, $135. I didn't even have to level the frets on it. All I did was tweak the neck. So I like my necks to run almost flat. See, you can get like a 20-pound sheet of paper. You can get it in between the 5th fret there. And and then my action's real low on this guitar. And it doesn't buzz. But anyway, great guitar. I have played this one out before, and she does all right. She'll hold her own with other instruments, cut through the mix, whatever you want to call it. And now I don't have my volumes set very loud in this room. Don't need to. The iPhone 15 Pro seems to be doing a pretty decent job recording my sound. I don't plug it through the computers. I do have a way I can do that and use GarageBand. In fact, in some of my openings and my endings on my videos, you'll hear some ditties I did through the GarageBand, and it was fun. It's fun. It's kind of, for me, it was a little complicated. You know, I am 71 years old. It's hard to relearn, or trying to learn stuff is getting harder. And but anyway, I have an up and coming video I'm gonna devote to Alzheimer's awareness. And I've had several friends of mine die of Alzheimer's. I have Alzheimer's. I was diagnosed with that about a little over 4 years ago. They told me then I have 8 to 10 years before it takes my life. And so I'm well into it, and but I'll get into that more when I make that video. But anyway, thank you all for putting up with me and my long-winded mouth, and we'll be talking at you. See you later.